Hey everyone, it's the TheAngryHoneyBadger, and it's time for us to take a look at a quick tips for LoLing video where we're going to go over smart casting and key binding and some of that today. I know some people have actually asked about this because they're not sure what it is or what it does or how to set it up, so we're going to go over some of the simplistic stuff that will cover it and go over that. One little quick thing we can just note about some of the things that are quick to cast. I know a lot of people try to dance in this game. You can hit enter / and type dance. That does work. Even simpler, you can just type / D. And even simpler than that, you can hit Control 3. So, you can Control F to lab, Control 2 to do taunting and all that nonsense. So, that is just something simple, but this is kind of the mentality behind smart casting. Right now, as I am in lane, if I wanted to cast my Q ability, I'd simply press it like this, and you'd see this come up, and then I could shoot it when I would left click. Now, smart casting is basically going to prevent you, or basically help you from having to do the left click. So right now, if we cast it like normal, a little bit of that. Oh, good dodge. Anyway, so that's that. Same thing with this W and my Q. They both are the same way. So I would need to left click to activate those. Now, if we go into set options menu and go to key bindings, if we scroll down a little bit, we find an area called smart cast on self, spell 1. If we click on this, and we just hit the Q button, now when we cast that ability, there's no click involved. All we have to do is hit Q, and I'm going to be throwing stuff her way. W I did not set up, so W we can still see here, but if I hit Q, wherever my cursor is where it's going to shoot it. So if I wanted to aim it towards her, I mean, I know this isn't going to hit her, and I just hit, well, actually, yeah, there goes my Q. Actually, it didn't get set up. What the hell just happened? Did I not hit OK? I didn't hit OK, did I? Okay, there we go. Now it's set up. So now if I just point my Q over here, it just shoots. You don't get any of this blue line. W I did not set up, but you don't get the blue line for the Q. Wherever your mouse is where it is going. Now, as you can see, that's how that works. Obviously, you can still do that. If you're a good quick clicker, that's why I know some people don't run SmartCast. Some people don't deem it necessary, but you can, well, I don't know how that minion saved your life there, but that is what it essentially does. Now, the same thing can happen with all, I mean, you can set up anything to be this way. Right now, as you can see, my shift is on normal cast. It's the same exact thing. If we go in and we go to key bindings and we let's just take everything and put everything on SmartCast and hit OK. All my abilities are on SmartCast right now. So if I shoot anything towards her, all I got to do is be pointing that direction. And if I wanted to shift anywhere, all I got to have is my mouse that direction. And that's where I'll shift towards. So everything then now is basically nothing I have to click. You can basically just spam like that and just basically put your mouse where you'd normally put your mouse, but instead of clicking, you don't have to click now. And some of you are probably thinking, well, what's the big deal? Why would it not matter if I have to click or not? Like, there's no time in that. Actually, you'd be surprised sometimes if you're like, oh, if I would have clicked to get my Q ability off. Well, if you were pounding that Q button, the minute it's off of cooldown, it was going to cast regardless, just depending on wherever you were pointing it. So that's something to consider with smart casting. Now, I know it's not for everyone. It's not for me too. I like it sometimes and sometimes I don't. It kind of depends on the champion. Some people will have smart casts on for certain champions, some will not. It just really depends on a playstyle and preference. So it kind of comes down to you. I'm already out of mana, aren't I? But that's for the most part. That's going to be smart casting. Now, one easier way to kind of get yourself into smart casting, if you want to learn it to see if it is worth the time. It does take a little bit of time to get used to. I think it's a lot easier to get used to this unlock camera for those people trying to do that. But if you want to get used to it a little bit quicker or just easier without having it affect all of your abilities, I would highly, highly, highly recommend smart casting some, if not all, of your items. Now, you can smart cast these a lot easier. This is your normal items, obviously. But if you want to smart cast the castable items like Blade of the Ruined King or Hextech Gunblade, if you want to smart cast those, go ahead and do the same things well, not Q, obviously. Just go ahead and change all of these so they're smart cast and not on shift. So now whenever you have Blade of the Ruined King, as long as you would like hover over that champion and you hit the button, it's on, it'll cast to them instead of having to click. It's a lot easier in team fights, it's a lot easier to use those abilities quicker, and that's one way to start getting used to basically not clicking your buttons and just kind of getting used to SmartCast. So it's just a really small, simple way that you can go about, like I said, trying to get used to this, since I know if you don't use it, it's a little weird at first to cast abilities without having to click, because you might like start clicking somewhere over here and then you'd swivel it up to point it at them. Obviously, if I did that, it's just going to cast that direction. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but, oh god, boomerangs hurt. But, you know, that's SmartCast. That's really all there is involved. You can easily go back to and hit reset all. And you can find out what works well for you. Some champions don't require it at all, like it doesn't feel necessary on them. Just depends though. Some people like it on all their champions because in the long run, I will say smart casting probably will benefit you a little bit more, because there's that split second that you click that could save your life and kill them, or it could be that split second where you just don't cast something off. So that is kind of smart cast, and that's kind of how that's going to work. Silverbot's gonna get away. But that's what I thought I'd show all of you today. That's pretty much gonna summarize how that works. Like I said, it's just under key bindings. You just go in there and you basically just make everything the way you want it. So if you want to change anything else, you can do that as well. But that's gonna pretty much summarize this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the comments. Let me know if SmartCast works for you and if you like it or whether or not you use it. But other than that, I'll just see all of you guys in the next video.